resort, which just so literally you can go to the working 9 to 5. Here is spectacular and strong, like Rwanda is. Hello everyone, this is J Essence Journey, and I'm here with another Hear the Heartbeat, and I'm so excited. I see the smile on the face. I know already some gems are going to be dropped, but they're accidental because you are just a gem dropper. And I want to go ahead and introduce you to, and I'm going to say this is my friend Marlon, but how would you want everybody to know you?
Same way. I am all of your friends as well.
And I will say that before we say anything, I absolutely love the love you have for what you do, for finding passion, for trying a venture, and just discovering the world. You are truly a beautiful, passionate brother in the right senses of the world. So when we get started, because you've actually been doing some magnificent things here in Rwanda, and you've been in Rwanda for about... Okay. I know it's good, but just hear me out for one quick second. I'm getting you right back. Have you joined the Relocate to Rwanda course? I put it all in there. Shipping information. What do you need to do to relocate? Step-by-step guide. How to set up your bank account. Applications. So many amazing things. So make sure you check it out. Website right there, okay? Yes, let's go back to seeing all the shenanigans I do. Get started, because you've actually been doing some magnificent things here in Rwanda, and you've been in Rwanda for about...
A little over a year I've been in Rwanda.
Okay, but I don't always want to say that people's journey starts in Rwanda. Your journey actually starts, I would say, from birth, but we don't have that much time. So how would you explain your journey?
Oh boy, so born in the Caribbean in Jamaica, and I grew up in New York, a little bit of time in Delaware, and then decided the world is big.
Okay.
And we need to travel, and I think it kind of came naturally to me because I was kind of born with a passport.
Mm-hmm.
When I was 4 years old, I pretty much had a green card and a passport, and that was my only identification until I was a teenager. So it was pretty natural to say, well, what is this good for? Let me,
try it out.
Yeah, exactly. Try it out and see where it takes me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an opportunity to travel to the Middle East, and I think at that point, 2007, in the States, all you were hearing about the Middle East at that time, obviously, is terrorism
And so you
violence.
decided to go there.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
to go
Yes.
see for myself, because I was starting to develop, well, I had already, from university, I'd say, developed that kind of discover for yourself sort of attitude, and question authority in productively.
Yes, but...
I was like, one area of the world can't be so bad. This is a massive area of the world, and it holds so many antiquities when we look at history, as well as being so close, to the African continent. So I had the opportunity to go over there. A friend of mine invited me for a photography trip to assist her. So I decided to take her up on that, and ended up in the Middle East, in Dubai in particular.
And what did you discover since you went there to find out things for yourself? What did you discover?
That it wasn't all it was what I was told it was cracked up to be.
Mm-hmm.
And usually when you hear that kind of saying, it's in a bad way. This is not all it's cracked up to be. But this was in a good way, because I was like, wow, I've never seen any place that's building and developing so fast.
Yeah.
I think at that point there were over 80% of the world's cranes in Dubai building the city at the same time. And I think this year is their 50th anniversary. So if we look at all they've accomplished within 50-year window, it was really amazing to see all that at that time. And I was there prior to the metro being developed, or the world's tallest building, Burj Khalifa. That was a small building at that time.
You saw a lot of buildings.
Yes, I saw all those things developing. So I think my spirit in terms of wanting to have an impact on the world around me, I kind of felt validated in that, because I didn't really feel like I had a place in the States to really have an effect on things. I felt like everything was done, and I would just kind of be redoing things or working for someone else, and I really had an independent mindset and wanting to be an entrepreneur of some sort. I didn't really understand the true definition of the term entrepreneur and what I wanted to do with it, but I just knew that I wanted to follow my own passion in a way.
Okay.
You know, and I went to art school in the States for photography, so I said, I have my camera, this will take me somewhere.
Yes. So.
I went to art school in the States for photography, so I said, I have my camera, this will take me somewhere.
Yes. So you spent 13 years in Dubai?
12
12
years,
to
yeah.
13 years,
12 to
and then, but you're here now.
Yes,
So
I'm
how
in
did,
Rwanda.
yeah, how did this little jump across the sea happen? Because you are a resident of Rwanda.
Yes. Yes,
Correct, yes.
I'm home.
Yes, Rwanda is
So,
home.
Absolutely. So how did we get to Rwanda?
Mm-hmm.
I would say a lot of my friend groups in Dubai were continental Africans.
Mm-hmm.
So from Kenyans, Ugandans,
Yes.
Nigerians, Ethiopians, etc. South Africa can't leave you out.
You have more shout outs. Shout out to
Right.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, like, you know, all these friends kept on telling me about, like, you know, their home, and, you know, like, you should come check out Africa, come check out Kenya, come check out South Africa, I'll take care of you, this, that, the other. So I think after a while of hearing all this, you know, you're kind of just like, well, what am I afraid of?
Right.
You know, and I think the life in Dubai kind of lulls you to sleep a bit.
Yes, it does.
You know, you get used to that, and yeah, you know, I would say it was just like a long bridge to cross. But we got there, and I think that, you know, I think my time in Dubai really developed me further to be ready for Africa.
Okay.
And I started coming to the continent about 3 years ago. Well, I'd been to Egypt like a long time back.
But I also want to say, how you said it developed you to be ready.
Yeah.
Can you dive into that moment right there?
Sure. What I mean by that is that coming directly from the States for a Black American, Caribbean, you know, diaspora in general, I don't, and if you have had no socialization with Africa
Right.
at all, even if you've met Africans in America,
I
it's not
understand where
the
you're
same,
going. Yes,
right?
continue. Yeah.
But when you get to the continent, it's a very abrupt wake up call. So I would say that my time in Dubai, because there was a lot of learning experiences dealing with you know, different cultures and different people. Myself and my friend groups, I was always like the glue pulling everyone together. So I would say,
so you.
hey, Kenyan brother, hey, Nigerian brother, let's all hang out.
So you, yes.
And they'd kind of be like, well, I'm not the
That's west side, it's east side.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
We're all African, right? So yeah, after going through that for a while, and, you know, getting acclimated to that and understanding Francophone, Anglophone, and you know, even like the different religions, that's just like all the separation points of what continental Africans go through, and then relating that to my journey of maybe even like colorism, maybe
Yep.
even Caribbean versus Black
do,
American.
yep.
You know, like there were a lot of separation points that we also did to ourselves in America, and even like East Coast, West Coast,
Yes.
and you know, you're from Northeast and I'm from the South. You know, people from Florida like felt like they were
I put
different.
grits, sugar on my grits.
Yeah.
I put salt on my grits.
Exactly.
What is grits? You know.
Even I'm just like, can I just have it?
Okay.
So I feel like I was always in this position of having to
As a connector.
yeah, as a connector, and having to listen more than I talked as well. So I feel like I was well positioned for that, and my time in Dubai really just cemented how I would approach this new role in life.
So from Dubai, you come to Rwanda.
Yes. Okay. Well, from Dubai, I started coming to the continent. I went to Kenya first to visit a friend. Had a great time. Really felt like family. Never stayed at a hotel, so like it was always just, you know, like firsthand, and like got introduced to the real side of Nairobi straight away. Went back to Dubai, came back to the continent again, went to Zanzibar, which I thought would be more so like, hotel and, chill in a resort kind of thing. But no, again, like I faced like the real Zanzibar. Like, I feel like my passion for Africa just really always drives me to want to find what the people are doing.
Yeah,
As
the people.
opposed to let's just look at the this beautiful resort and stay inside, sort of thing. So yeah, I really, really did explore Zanzibar. And the thing about Zanzibar in particular, different from what I felt in Nairobi, is that it really felt a lot like Jamaica. It is an island. It felt very tropical. Like there were palm trees and what have you, and even like the people like looked very familiar, and that even the smell, like there's like something very unique about the smell of the Caribbean, and I'm sure my peoples know what I'm talking about, and I got that same kind of smell when I was in Zanzibar. I don't know if it's burning something, I don't know, the charcoals or what have you, but yeah. So that was a great experience as well. And then I went back again to Tanzania for a second time and visited Dar es Salaam for a business trip. So after the Dar es Salaam trip, I really felt like I was ready to make the jump.
Okay.
And the thing that really pushed me over the cliff, I'd say, is the pandemic. So obviously, like we're still in it, and quite often people just talk about like what they can't do.
Correct.
I have to wear this mask. I can't do this. I can't go here. I have to get vaccinated, etc., etc. But I look at it in that it actually forced my hand to say that if at any time I'm going to try something different, then now's the time. And at the point in Dubai, I would say my business wasn't, going spectacularly because of the pandemic. A lot of people didn't know what was going on. This
Right.
was 2020, the height of
Yes.
it. And so I was like, well, like no time as good as now to jump and try something different. So now I'm
jumped.
on to Yes.
You jumped.
For
So
sure.
I'm going to do a bigger jump because a lot of people would say, okay, so how is it in Rwanda now?
Yeah.
I want to jump to a different question because we talked about your beautiful knack of connecting people. And then we talked a little bit about you're trying to find this entrepreneur independent mindset, and you've created AfriConnect.
Yes.
So you've really taken, I believe, the passion of what you are and who you are naturally and managed to create it in a technology type sense. Can you dive deeper into AfriConnect?
Great question. So AfriConnect is a mobile application that we conceptualized a few years back. When thinking about moving to Africa, I felt that I was ready, but I didn't know what I was going to do, and I didn't really want to just keep on reinventing myself like how I was doing in Dubai, even though that was fun. I really wanted to start, living a life that had more generational meaning.
Okay.
And leaving a greater impact for something greater than myself. And even defining that now, I can just put a blanket over that, and say that it's going to do something big for millions of people I've never met, but that I feel and that I carry with me. So AfriConnect, I really felt that with technology, when I was growing up, if some people watching remember AOL and dial-up, CD-ROMs
Yes,
and all that.
all of that.
Like we'd all get CD-ROMs to the house and put them in for our new
That
password.
was real. That was serious though. Don't play games, and if it was scratched, you'd be in there.
Yeah, Put some Vaseline on the little scratches.
That's gotta work.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yep. So I remember looking at the computer back then, which gosh, I don't even remember what kind of computer it was. Maybe it was one of those
It was bad.
Commodores.
It was bad. It was bad.
It was a big boy. It was a big boy. And I always said I will never let technology leave me behind. And I was super young then, but I knew that this was going to, well, it already was changing the world. I knew there wasn't a fad. I'm like, this is the way forward. So thinking back on that now, fast forward to my decision to move to Africa and deciding to do technology, I looked at, well, look at what social media is doing to the world in the positive aspect. Like, I don't want to, in terms of connecting people.
Yes, it
Yeah,
does.
like, people that you haven't seen in years, people that you would have never met otherwise. And then, you form these virtual relationships, and then, knock on wood, hopefully, eventually, like, you connect in real life and, become real friends or real business, business associates, etc. And, that's what social media I saw was starting to do, and connecting people to even like new music and new movies and titles and things they would never heard of, and people from different places in the world.
Yep.
Brought that a lot closer. So I said, okay, this product is very generic. Its target market is everybody, what we call the Walmart crowd, right? And
It is.
yeah, with AfriConnect, what we really wanted to do was to build on what so many Pan-African heroes have started before us. So from the Marcus Garveys to Kwame Nkrumah, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, etc. And even Malcolm X and Martin, etc. Like, these guys are Pan-African as well. So I really believe that what they were missing, their message was on point and succinct, and like definitely applies to today and forevermore.
Continues.
Yeah,
Yes.
it continues. But what was missing from that? Mobile apps have become integral to our lives. The average person has 40 apps on their phone, 9 of which are used daily, and 30 are used at least once a month. This means that more than half of these apps go largely unused. App fatigue is a real thing, and it's on the rise. In steps the Super App. Instead of a single or dual case app, more developers are looking to build tech that essentially manages our lives online. Super apps conveniently bundle and facilitate daily needs on a single platform. At the same time, users are becoming more savvy and critical of who captures their data and how it's used. This is increasingly true amongst minority and historically marginalized groups. A growing number of users would feel more comfortable knowing that they are supporting an impact tech platform that uses their data to positively impact their communities. AfriConnect looks to combine these two popular trends, the Super App and group-specific apps. As a Pan-African, impact-driven platform, AfriConnect focuses on Africans and the global diaspora of African descent, a potential target market of over 1.5 billion users. AfriConnect seamlessly integrates a suite of useful apps into one elegant technological ecosystem. Uniquely, the apps in this ecosystem make it possible for users to facilitate and enhance their lives both online and offline. Our mini apps improve our users' efficiency, productivity, and profitability. We welcome you to step into the amazing universe of AfriConnect. Is the tool and the weapon, if you will, of our technology. So now that we have technology to wield it, particularly for our goals, to be a united people, respective of where we're from and the various ways we grew up and culturally, etc., but also to see that we're more alike than we are different, and then be able to share those different experiences with each other to grow collectively and respect our differences, but as well unite around our similarities. And that's what I feel like technology can do for Africa, and what our goal is with AfriConnect. It's a super application, and a super application means that it's a multi-functional, multi-use platform. So when you think about a lot of social medias, e-commerces, fintechs, that's all they do. If it's e-commerce, they just
I'm gonna
sell
do this
things.
I'm gonna do this for the old school. So if you go onto Walmart, all you do is shop on Walmart. If you go to what is it? I don't say TikTok. All you do is dance or do TikTok. It doesn't
Videos,
work
yeah.
in a multifaceted. It's not. Well, I was gonna say it's not the super Walmart. When you go get your groceries and all the other stuff, it's just regular
Shop for
old
clothes and groceries
brown.
and
It's
this.
brown Walmart. It's not the super 24-hour center. Okay, so you have the super 24-hour center.
Correct.
Okay, keep.
And we are developing, because it's still under development. It's a very large baby to birth.
It is though.
Yeah.
But you've been birthing.
Yes. I've been in a Lamaze class.
Yes. Okay, and no, yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I remember that from that Cosby episode.
Yes.
That Cosby show episode. Y'all think we crazy.
It's all right. I stay crazy.
Right. So we're developing a closed technological ecosystem, whereas you don't have to leave the application to do anything else, right? There are literally millions of apps in the world today, yeah, and because there's millions of apps for various things individually, people are suffering from what's considered app fatigue.
Yes.
You know, this is a real thing. You know, so people's like, oh, I got to download this app, you know, for this store, and then if I like that, I have to download that, you know, loyalty program and rewards program, and you know, there's so many apps on our phone, and sometimes we only use them for one time and then erase them, or just don't touch them again. The average person has over 40 apps on their phone and only use 9 on a regular basis. This takes up space on your phone.
Yes.
It you know, is a crutch in terms of when you're just trying to get to the right thing and other things get in your way. And even the useful apps, let's say Google, you know, everyone uses Google. Google has become a verb. You
Yes,
know,
it
more
has.
than just a company. It's like, oh, you don't know something? Google it. You know, it's become a verb. So within that, I definitely saw that household name kind of possibility with AfriConnect. Because to us, that's success, becoming a verb. Where people say, oh, let's connect, right? Connect with me. You know, it becomes that. And we purposely spelt AfriConnect with K's instead of C's.
Okay.
Because initially, most places in Africa were spelled with a K. And that goes from Kemet, the original name of Egypt.
Yes.
You know, the Bakongo Empire, which was, you know, Congo before Congo, spelled with a K. And so many other places that use K's prior to, you know, European interventions. Okay, so what does AfriConnect do? Just on a general basis, as I said, we're still in development and attracting investment. So AfriConnect combines from communication, tourism, education, healthcare, entertainment, you know, streaming entertainment, all of these platforms and sectors into one. And they're integrated, meaning that our communication platform, for instance, is integrated to all the other platforms.
Okay.
So you can think about that like the hub of a bicycle wheel, and all the spokes are the other mini apps.
Got it.
So these mini apps, if I'm in one mini app, let's say for education, and I want to connect with my teacher or my other classmates, I can just hit connect, and it uses the communication tool within. I don't have to leave to say, what's your WhatsApp or what's your phone number? Let me leave the application and go to this platform.
And yes.
Everything is within, and then with a convenient, quick, you know, hit of the home button, I'm back at what we call the dashboard, which lists all of the mini apps. And you can think about that kind of in the way of Microsoft Office, whereas you have like Excel, PowerPoint,
So many different
Word,
things, but there's all
exactly,
under.
or even Adobe, you know,
Yeah.
Photoshop and Illustrator and all these kind of things. Okay.
Microsoft.
Okay, that's better. Yeah. It depends. If you're creative, you might know Adobe or Microsoft for everybody. So, yeah, in a sense like that, but different from other applications, we are wholly utilitarian, meaning that we're looking to enhance and facilitate the things in people's lives they need to do every day.
Got it.
Whether that's go shopping at the store, whether that's finding a doctor or a dentist, you know, finding out what government institution, you know, you have to register your business with, how to pay your taxes in like whatever country. And because our target market is uniquely underserved, and that is continental Africans plus the global diaspora of African descent. Now, continental Africans, we're talking about at least 1.3 billion people.
Yes, we are.
Right? And then the global diaspora, over 300 million people. So this is a potential target market of over 1.6 billion people. And for the most part, no other platform has ever tried to connect us together before. This is a wholly Pan-African vision and theme, which is why I mentioned, you know, those heroes prior. That was their goal, to say one Africa and one, you know, one collective of people. You know, stronger together, group economics, you know, etc. And when we think about, you know, a term like group economics, you know, we go back to like Black Wall Street, for instance,
Yes, we
and
do.
see how that served us so well. And, you know, various other places, you know, in the States that were like that. When we were looking out for self and doing for self, we were actually more progressive and productive and peaceful and loving of each other, because we knew that we had to depend on each other. So yeah, not to try to reinvent the wheel completely, because, you know, we time moves on, right?
Yep.
So we're trying to stay ahead, stay in lockstep, but also visually looking ahead to be prepared for what comes next through technology.
Well, I was going to say, and I'll break in for a little bit. I think what you're doing is the missing link in progression. We have so many leaders who still think of what they did and the way it was. And a lot of our people don't necessarily bring up or mentor the next generation. And we do need that next generation to continue the vision forward. And what you've done is uniquely taken the vision and you have amplified it in a sense and brought it to technology and continued the work in the path this way. So I really do hope that this conversation know that this is the big platform that it is. That's not a hope. I know it's going to happen. I can't wait to be there. But I see the bigger vision and I see the planting that you have in your heart, but also the openness that our I want to say our ancestors, and I don't want to say ancestors because it's the generation that marched. In order for us to continue marching, moving, and plowing and getting to where we need to be, you have to hand it over. You have to hand it over, and you're going to have to trust this new generation with all the gadgets and different things that we can still carry the vision and light and bring it, but we're going to have to remove or remix it. It's the remix, baby, and bring it further. I wanted to say before we kind of end out that this quest that you have brought you to a position where you were the lead speaker or the keynote speaker for a very important conference.
Yeah, recently I was honored to be one of the speakers at this conference locally here in Rwanda, which, by the way, is really setting itself up to be the leader in so many things within the continent, including events. So the world-class Kigali Convention Center looks like something out of a like a spaceship or what have you.
Yes.
It's like things
and that's
you see
in Africa.
Dubai. Right.
Yeah.
So that was my first time actually going in there. I'd been here for a year already. That was my first time actually going in there, and also the Radisson Blu, which is a lovely hotel. It was held there. The conference was called the Tarj Forum and Trade Fair. So it was in support of the African Continental Free Trade Area, or Free Trade Agreement for some, the AFCFTA, which their mission is to. Excuse me, rewind a little bit. The AFCFTA went into effect January of this year. So
it's really happening.
Pushing forward on the promises that were made. Yeah.
Okay.
And their mission is for the free movement of goods and people. And when we think about that, for our brothers and sisters in the West, that might sound like, wait, you mean you can't move from place to place? Not exactly. What we mean by that is that it's more difficult in Africa. And by design, because we have to remember that Africa was broken up into colonies, and partitioned up from all the European powers. So quite literally, like you have West and Central Africa speaking French, Francophone countries, most of East Africa, Anglophone countries speaking English, and those various colonial powers held such an influence even to this day that even their ways and actions and such have rubbed off on the African populace as well. And that boils down to leadership as well, and that boils down to even not trusting your neighbor. To an extent. So Africa trades intracontinentally only best estimates are 15% of the time. And if you compare that to Asia, for instance, which trades with itself over 60% of the time, and Europe with the European Union, trading with itself again over 50% of the time, we see how far behind Africa is in terms of that. And if we adopt the same kind of strategy, really put teeth into organizations like the African Union, to be able to truly look out for the future of Africa. That's what really the conference was about, and to discuss these, these kinds of issues, and not just discussing them as issues, but solutions, right? So we feel like AfriConnect is a solution, to a lot of these things that we've been facing. Because when you go to a lot of these chat rooms, whether they be on Clubhouse or Twitter, etc., there's a lot of talking, but not a lot of solutions.
Yep.
There's not a lot of, well, here's what we do about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that we're ahead of our time. I think that we're right on time.
Yes.
But quite often, even things that are on time, people still don't see it until it's actually happening.
Correct.
And I would say that's what we've been going through up until now. A lot of people ask, what, when are we going to launch? How close are we? And these kinds of things about progression. And I would say that time does not belong to us, right? We can only stay patient, stay persistent.
Patient, persistent.
Yeah, for sure. And those are really the two formulas to success: patience and persistence.
And I love it. And this is going to seem abrupt, but we are on a time limit.
Sure.
So what I can say now is that if you just look below, all the contact information is going to be there. And I can tell you already, there's so much more, and there's more conversation.
Yes.
But it was imperative to for me to get you out here and at least show, because when I talk about hear the heartbeat,
Yeah.
I hear your heartbeat.
Oh, thank
And
you.
I'm so appreciative, and I'm just proud of you, brother, for bringing your knowledge, insight, and foresight here to this beautiful country and sharing it with the world.
Appreciate you, and you're doing amazing things as well, Jay Essence, and I love your channel. As I get time, I always try to check out your videos, and they're always infotaining. I learned something, and I definitely get a laugh out of it as well. And just your spirit, ever since you've been here, I know we're both in the UAE together. But we didn't really cross paths much, but ever since you've been here, we've linked, and you're almost like that sister, that I haven't had, that looks out for people, make sure everybody's good. Did everybody eat? Everybody, all right, you got a plate, right, get a plate straight away. You got a plate, you got a plate. So that's just really good to feel that home, away from home, at home.
Yeah. I love it. I'm taking it. I'm
Definitely want to add that part.
Home, away from home, at home.
Yeah.
And we're dipping on that one.
Boom.
Boom, boom. And catch you guys next time.